Hey loves! Welcome to the Akasha Be Well Skincare channel. I am Tesa Edmonson Jones, the founder and owner of Akasha Be Well Skincare. We make naturally effective, sustainable skincare products from the finest natural and organic ingredients. Our mission is to help people of color learn more about sustainable, clean skincare and how to transition from products that contain ingredients which have been demonstrated to be harmful to skin health and our environment. Founded in Denver, Colorado, we're proud to say we're Colorado made. Hey. With every product purchase, a tree will be planted in Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado, right over there, to help our local environment mitigate climate change, protect our water supply. Fun factoid, Colorado supplies 19 states with fresh water, and to preserve our native species and reduce the impact of wildfires. Now, what I wanted to talk about today is to first do an introduction about Akasha Be Well Skincare, who we are, where we are, why we are, and what we are, okay? So our content on this channel will be focused on skincare, overall health and wellness. I will drop some self-care tips and detail different ways for you to lead a more sustainable and happy, clean life. All right. So before we get started, make sure to go to our website, www.akashabewell.com, to get exclusive weekly emails that you can only find at akashabewell.com. So make sure you're following Akasha Be Well Skincare on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So basically across all platforms at Akasha Be Well. Also, like this video if you care to learn more about us, and we share the video if you want to share the information that we're giving out here, and comment below with comments, suggestions, questions. We like it all, right? We will interact directly with you there. And subscribe so you'll be the first to know when a new video is posted. Also, make sure that you are living your best life every day. Right? Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, what I really wanted to talk about today is to let you know who we are. So Akasha Be Well Skincare was started here in Denver, Colorado in 2016. More so as a way for me to find ways to what am I trying to say here? Find ways to treat my family's skin and hair, because I really started out with doing hair for my sons in a more natural and sustainable way. So we live in Denver, Colorado. As anyone can tell you, it's very dry here. We live in a high desert environment, and that means that moisture doesn't stick around, right? In your hair, your skin, your eyes, your nostrils, you can feel the dryness everywhere. It's important to stay hydrated here in Colorado. More so, it's important for your skin not to dry out, because you can start to exacerbate any kind of skin issues that you have, eczema, psoriasis, you name it. This is the environment where it can kind of make it a little bit worse. So, if you are in Colorado, you know what this is, you know what this means. And if you see my skin, it's not happening, because I stay hydrated, honey. I keep my skin well moisturized. And how I started doing that was just playing around with different things. I just was using raw shea butter in our hair and our skin. And after a few years of doing that, I started making birthday gifts and different things for my family, because I felt like this was too good to keep to myself. So that was one of the ways that I actually started making my products. And the very first one was a buttercream that I made. And this is a 3 butter base with a lot of good oils that are in here. So it's a triple butter base of cocoa butter, shea butter, and mango butter. And I actually started making that for my son's hair because there weren't a lot of products at the time that were effective and affordable. I just could not justify paying $60 for 8 ounces of a hair cream, when I was going to be going through it a lot, for my hair, my son's hair, all three of them. And it was a lot. So I started to figure out, I'm a DIYer, so I started to figure out different ways that I could try to do this at home. And then my youngest son presented with some eczema, and he started having dry, flaky skin, and it was so bad for him. He was only a baby at the time, about 8 months old, and his skin was really, really dry. So I tried everything from Aquaphor to just straight Vaseline. There were just a lot of things that were making it worse. And so I tried to find ways that would be natural and effective and would be cost efficient. So the first thing I made for him was a shea aloe mix, and I put a little bit of eucalyptus and rosemary and mint in as an essential oil base into it, and that seemed to help him. Matter of fact, it helped to clear him up pretty quickly. If you're hearing a lot of noise in my background, I live in a construction zone temporarily. Well, not my home is temporary, but the construction is temporary right now. So you're hearing a lot of trucks and everything. As a result, my dog loves to sit and look out of the window. And every time he sees a truck or he sees a construction worker or any other worker walking by, he feels the need to tell them hi. So you might hear him say hi in a little bit, or just throughout this video, because King Simon has the run of the house. Don't you, puppy? Hi, pretty. He's very pretty. Sorry about that. So what I wanted to do was expand this into my family and really test them and see how it was going to work for everybody. Is it just only working for the baby, or is it working for everyone? And so the first person I tried it on was me. And I don't have any bodily skin issues per se, except just having dry skin, which is normal here in Colorado. And my skin stayed moisturized, hydrated, and supple, and helped. And my texture started to improve. I didn't know that I had texture issues until I started to hydrate my skin a little bit more. Excuse me. So my skin was just super soft. My husband couldn't stop rubbing it. The best thing that I liked about it is that my kids, they look like light bulbs, like their skin just glowed, it radiated from just being this healthy, moisturized, hydrated, protective barrier that we have. And they stopped complaining that their skin was so dry and itchy. Now, it's not that I didn't use anything on the kids. I was actually using lotions before, but lotions aren't as effective here as body butters are. And that's just something that we've learned here as a family. So I started with that. Then I started going into making scrubs and everything for the kids, for our feet and our hands, because we garden here, and making hand cleansers, and then going into making the shave cream for my husband, because he is bald. He shaves his head, and he's a pretty man, so he shaves just about everything on his face and his head. And then I started making household cleaners. I started making dish detergent. I started making laundry detergent, floor cleaners, glass cleaner, anything that I could to clean up our home, basically. Any kind of chemicals that we were using to clean and sanitize, I really just replaced everything with glass bottles and all the things. Like this one right here, this is our kitchen sanitizer, and so this is equal parts alcohol, vinegar, water, and a bit of lemon juice in there. Oh, and oregano oil. Thyme oil that I put in there. So after we clean the countertops and everything, the kids will seal that on the countertops. We have quartz, and so it doesn't need to be sealed, but it does help to sanitize the kitchen. This is flu season and we're in cold season, and we're trying our best to keep all of those things down. Now, back to Akasha Be Well. So once I started making these body care products, I started to get a really, really good following. Not only because people loved them, but because how effective they were. And it wasn't just your family saying, "Oh, this is so awesome, I love it," and they're like stocking your stuff in the kitchen or in their bathrooms. This was something that they were actually clamoring for and were mad that I didn't make more of it for them. So then I started to look into my own skin issues, like if I could pretty much like cure the family basically of dry skin, right? What else could I do? I hold a degree in biology and women's studies, and so looking into women's health is a priority for me. So what I wanted to do was to figure out, okay, well, how can I clear my skin, or how can I, try to deal with some of my skin issues? And I'm gonna tell you, long story short, I have a whole story which I will talk about later about my skin. I have oily, sensitive skin, and so a lot of things that I was using were not effective, and they would have extra issues. So I would always have, I would suffer from contact dermatitis because I was using products that were either not compatible with my skin, or the ingredients were causing an allergic reaction. Allergic dermatitis, like I said. Then I was having rebound oiliness because what I was doing was stripping my skin, and then I would have rebound acne, and then it was just this vicious cycle that I was doing to my skin, and I was having a really, really hard time trying to figure out exactly what it was, because I was using like 4 cleansers and scrubs and Clarisonics, plus a sponge, and there was a whole lot of things that were going into my skin, and I made it really, really bad. My skin was really dark. My facial skin was really, really dark compared to the rest of my body. I had melasma. I had severe hyperpigmentation. I had extreme oily, like my face would go like this, it'd be like a full-on oil slick. I have congestion. You name it, there was going on this face. So I threw in the towel. I realized, hey, you don't know everything. Fix your life. Figure out what you need to do, lady. And so I went to one of my friends who is an esthetician. She owns her own spa here in Denver, On the Go Wellness Spa. Plug for Miss Tasha. So I went to her, and I'm an introvert, and I am very much close into myself. So to have someone close to my face raised my anxiety to like Mars. So I trusted her, and I sat down and I spoke to her, and I just got really, really real, after I cried and everything. And she was very empathetic, and she was like, "Okay, honey, so action steps." Tasha's very much about action. Okay, action steps. So what are we going to do to fix it? I know the problem. I see the issue. How are we going to fix it? So with that, there was a plan that we both came up with together to figure out what I was going to do, how I was going to do it, and how we were going to do it together, and what was going to work, and how we can get the end result that I needed. First step was to stop using all the cleansers that I was using. I told you I was using like 4 or 5, and the cleansing methods that I was using, and just get it down to just 1, right? Just get down to 1. So she put me on a skin elimination diet, right? And then to increase the amount of moisturization I was putting on my face and hydration, right? So oily skin can be dehydrated. It can be. Even though you do have oily skin, oils do not in themselves moisturize. They function more as an occlusive, meaning that they sit on your skin and they hold in moisture. But honey, if there's not moisture to be held there, your skin's just going to keep producing more oil, because it feels like it needs, hey, the skin is dry, push it out. Maybe there's some moisture out there we need to, seal in. So I wasn't using the proper toner. I wasn't using any moisturizer, nothing. I might use aloe vera once in a while, but that wasn't enough for my skin. And then I was improperly using scrubs. Yeah, we'll get into that too. We'll talk about the proper use of scrubs, the proper scrubs to use on your face, the different types of scrubs that are good and the scrubs that are not so good and that can possibly cause some issues. And then using SPF. So one of the biggest reasons she told me why I had this extensive hyperpigmentation on my skin was because not only was I doing all of the stuff at front end, but on the back end I wasn't protecting my skin, and my skin was just left open, raw, and open to our lovely star. And yeah, I just made it really, really bad. And so it took me about a good 18 months to rehab my skin. And it was diligent work, like every day. And I was going through a lot of, if you've ever had extensive skin issues, then you can understand and appreciate what I'm about to say. My self-esteem took a massive hit. To say it tanked is an understatement. Like, I was like in the Mariana Trench. It was really bad. I don't remember looking at my face in 2015 or before. I can't honestly think. I would wash my face in the dark. I wouldn't look in the mirror. I would put my makeup on without looking in the mirror. So I got really good at like lining my lips and, throwing on my mascara, doing my eyeliner, all without a mirror. So yeah, I was doing those things because I could not honestly face my face. I couldn't face myself. And so it just was it was a spiral and feedback with that. So once I started to understand how my skin reacted to different products and ingredients, what I could do to make sure that my skin was in its proper healthiest form, and how I could maintain it. So let me back up a little bit. My skin prior to having my second son was normal. It was normal to oily, I guess. Sometimes I was more oily, like, in my T-zone sometimes. Most time, like during those times of the month. But I didn't really deal with any skin issues until after I had my second son. And then my skin, I don't want to say lost its mind, but I lost my mind when my skin started to change. Fun fact, when you have children, your body takes on changes, and not everybody tells you these things. So even what to expect can't tell you that. It could touch on it, but your body's going to change in ways that you are not prepared for, honey. So my skin went from normal to really, really oily, and I didn't know how to deal with that. I had no systems in place. I'm a United States Army veteran. I am a warrior. I'm a trained soldier. So I decided to go into soldier mode and attack. Like, I attacked my skin. Like a drill sergeant talk to you. I attacked my skin. And I did not have the best result. And as a result, I felt really bad about it. I felt that my skin looked bad, and I felt even more bad about that. So going through my trials and tribulations, I was able to develop a skincare line that worked very, very well, and still works very, very well for me, people who have oily, sensitive skin, people who have oily skin, combination skin, mature skin or maturing skin. Because again, as you are moving into your next phases of life, your skin changes. Your skin changes from season to season. So you should be evaluating your skin, but you should know your skin and how it reacts very well. Some of us don't. Some of us, aren't properly cleansing our skins, properly moisturizing our skin, properly toning. So we'll talk about that as well. I just wanted to come in here and just talk to you really quick, give you a little bit who I am. We'll talk more about it as we go along. I'll give you more and more about who Tesa is, what Tesa likes, why Tesa. If you're Marvel fans, you know what that is. And then we'll just continue to build our relationship, right? So that's all for today. I just want to wish you an awesome day. Smile, be happy where you are for now, because, you know, things can change. So be happy now. Also, I did want to remind you to also like this video, share, comment, let me know, do you like my giggle or not? I've been told I have an awesome laugh, right? That's okay. If you don't agree, comment, I disagree. All right. So remember to subscribe, and that way you'll be the first to know when I post a new video. And remember to be healthy, be well, be Akasha. Bye, loves.